Right, so how to connect to an access or Oracle database, okay? Basically, you can connect to any other database, okay? You know what components to use. But let's just look at this, how to connect to an access database, and let's just look at some of the, what is this? Okay, all right. Connecting to a database makes use of OLE components, or it can make use of ODBC connection, or ODBC component, or ADO. Okay? OLE is basically short for object linking and embedding databases. So, when you've got your database at the back end, you've got your application as a front end, okay? But somewhere in the middle, there is some software to allow you to connect to your database, okay? And OLEDB is basically an API, a Microsoft API, which allows you to send commands from your application to your database, okay? And in that way, a connection is established, okay? So the database that you connect to is, once you've got that middleware, you can connect to any other database if it's supported, okay? And the same with your front end, okay? So you can have a Visual Basic application, or C++, or C# or Java application that will allow you to connect to the Oracle database or Access database, okay? So there's this middleware so for that reason, in your application, you have to make use of the tools, in this case the OLEDB connection or the OLEDB adapter. So what I'll do first, let's look at, it might not work because there's some problems with, there's something that is not installed on my machine. So I'll show you to the point where it does work, where it bombs out, okay? Works the same for Oracle. Let me first, okay, you know how to do the Access one. Okay, so let's not show the Access one. Let's look at the Oracle one. But you can use the OLE connection as well. Okay, so I'll use the same connection, but I'll connect an Oracle database. So once you do that, it comes up with new connection, and then you've got different data sources. Okay. Your data sources would include Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, Access, and any other server. Okay, so let's just change and make this to the Oracle database. You can make that Access database, but let's look at the Oracle database. Okay. It is PCD. Why is it serving? No, it's just what they do now. Okay. So the OLEDB, so now the server name, okay? The server name, okay, I don't have it as a local host, okay? So I have to type in the full port. So our server is 155.2. Okay, and then /, and then the database name is and then your username, my username is and yours is something. What is it? Let me just see that one. Test connection succeeded. Okay. I was actually surprised it succeeded. First, it's my password. Okay. Alright, so once you click OK, and then continues with the step-by-step process. Okay, so what we need to include here, okay, exclude sensitive data from the connection. This includes things. Okay, let us just include census data. Okay. Then your connection string, make sure that the connection string will show that the provider is a it's an MSD aura, which is the Oracle database. Data source is wherever the database is stored. Okay, so it's the location. Right. For access, it will also say the provider, which is the type of database, and then the source would indicate to the physical database itself. Okay. Alright, so we click next, and then use SQL statements. We'll use SQL statements. This is just an initial statement that you need to add, okay, to connect to your database. Okay? And here you can type in anything, but let's use a query builder. So the query builder, so now should load all the tables now. I've already run that 3 tabs. Okay, so my schema is built with the databases with all the tables. Like you see here, right? So let's just use, I'll just use the first one. Okay, and then just select all, and then okay. That is just an initial statement. Okay, it's not necessary that, but that's see. Don't put all the tables in there. Otherwise, it comes up with this either joins and whatever. So it creates a long statement. So that is sufficient just to get through this process. Alright, so there is some errors. There is an article error, but it is not there. What is it? Okay, so it could be, I'm not sure what the area is, okay? But let's continue and see whether it has an impact, okay? What basically needed to be generated here is the select statement and all the other select statements need to be selected, okay? It could be that instead of using OLE, we should have used Oracle, because Oracle also has a connection, okay? And let's see how far we get with this one. And that's it. So I will see if I can preview the data. Alright, so it at least gets the data, okay, from the database. Close. So you click on there, the data, okay, and then press preview. So obviously, if your connection is not configured correctly, you have to go to configure data adapter again, and then it will take you through that entire process as well if you want to set up a new connection. You're not getting this. Okay, I'll be with you now. Okay, so your Server Explorer here will show you. Server Explorer. Oh, there is my server, that's my database there. And if I expand that, expand that further, it will show all the tables there. So this is basically retrieving all the tables. For every table, you can then expand that as well to show all the fields within the table. Okay, so this you can have posts of pinned there, so that whenever you use your code, you can reference the appropriate tables and fields. Okay, that makes up. The next step is to actually add the code to retrieve and put up controls to view the code. Okay. Okay. Queries, what queries? The state. Okay, it's all should be in your application, same application. Okay. I know for some applications, like for instance, with the Access database, and you go from machine to machine, you have to reconfigure it. Okay. But in this case, I think it should be fine because the location is one location.